Health Services. This is Dianne.
Hey, Dianne, this is Neil Olson. You came to visit me about a month ago.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering if I could get a copy of your report.
I would have to send you the instructions on how to request it. We don't release it ourselves. Our legal releases it.
But I'll be able to get it, though?
Yeah, you can request it.
Oh, requesting.
What's your... Huh?
Requesting is one thing, but getting it is another.
The report involves yourself. Yes, you can get it, but
Okay.
I can't give it to you, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you have an email?
Yeah, my email is churchoftimology@gmail.com.
Of time? How are you spelling the timology?
It's TIMEOLOGY.
Okay. So Church of Timology
At Gmail.
Gmail.
Yeah. It's part of my musical that I've written. That's the idea. My next question is, what do I have to do to get help from you, from my narcissist parents? Again, just so I know, I have to be diagnosed?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with your doctor's office. You don't have a diagnosis that qualifies you for investigations. I think I'd explained that as well.
Well, I just wanted, so if I go get diagnosed, because they diagnosed me when I was at the Universal Behavioral Clinic. He said I was incompetent. So it is on record that I was at the behavioral. They put me in the loony bin over unionization. The church did.
Okay.
I tried telling you that, and I have evidence online, and I have recordings of them trying to, and they believe it's okay to murder people on top of that. Jesus never said go murder. And I tried to shut that down and stand up to them, but they conspired with my parents to have me Baker acted.
Yeah, I mean, usually when somebody is Baker acted, their admission is incompetent, but if you remained incompetent, they couldn't have discharged you.
Right.
Because if you're incompetent, you're not able to take care of yourself.
I guess the doctor said, okay, I spoke with a prosecutor who, my American flag was stolen by this clinic, and the prosecutor, John H. Stone, knows about this stolen flag. He didn't do anything to help me out. He told me that the doctors found me incompetent at the time. The man who Baker acted me, this is a federal crime, Corey Beale in Minnesota, he conspired with Mike Avila, the head of the musicians union, for 30 years. He didn't pay his own musicians. I wrote a musical, and I went to him to get him to help me get musicians for my own musical, because I have faith like that in God to provide. And because I told him I was autistic and my parents are narcissists and all that, he conspired with Corey Beale across state lines to have me Baker acted. And because I started calling on him to pay his own musicians at his church. So my right to believe what I want was violated, my civil rights, and it was across state lines by an evil church. And my right to talk about unionization in his church as a musician, he stripped me of that, and my parents conspired with that. And it's all on record. John H. Stone knows about it, but he's the one that told me that I was incompetent. He said that the doctor said I was incompetent. Because he looked into all this, the prosecutor. So, and also the doctor at the hospital was speaking to my parents when it's on record that I didn't want them talking to anyone. I put that down on the file. So I'm letting you know all the details, everything. My civil rights were violated. I'm not nuts. I just have autism, and I have complex post-traumatic stress from dealing with my parents every day. So that's why I'm trying to figure out how to get help to get this off my record, get this taken care of, get to be away from the abuse.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can't investigate if you don't have a diagnosis that meets the criteria for us to investigate.
So the fact that I was locked up in the loony bin doesn't count as a diagnosis? The fact
No.
No, okay. So
I mean, anybody, people drink and get Baker acted, people do drugs and get Baker acted. It doesn't mean that, they're incompetent for life.
Well,
you're Baker act from what you're sharing with me. There was no justification for it.
No, there was no justification for it. So, and I'm trying to figure out how to get this taken off my record and actually investigate it. Because I'm terrified of the police. The police, my parents would threaten the police on me my entire life. That's what they They do. I start acting up a little bit, they threaten to call the police on me. So I'm terrified of the cops. And then they conspired with... Mike Adler has 2 police officer sons. On top of that, that's why they had me Baker acted instead of arrested. Number 1. Number 2, the reason... and they put a stalking injunction on me. So then Mike Adler went to court and he said, I'm violent, I'm going to kill everyone, all this sort of stuff. On record, he says there was no threat to the church. But at the same time, on the record, he is saying that I was violent and I was going to come murder, kill everyone. These men are narcissists, and I don't know how to get off my record. I'm trying to seek help in this state, and it's impossible to seek help or get help. People can do harm to you just like that. But there's no way for me to get help. I have to completely prove my innocence every which way now. Because one person accused me of something, it's in the system. And now the system agrees with them. So I'm just trying to seek help from this nuts, because you're the adult protective investigator and my parents conspired with all this stuff.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, like I've said, you have to qualify.
I know. I have to qualify to get help in the state of Florida. So if I just go to the doctor and if I just go to the doctor and say I have autism, he puts on my record that I have autism, we're good then?
A doctor's not going to do that.
How do I get that diagnosis then? How much time is
you would have
take?
to see a psychiatrist or neurologist for you to be diagnosed with. I mean, there are tests that they have to do.
So how many times does a woman in this state, if she's injured or hurt by someone, have to scream to get help to be saved and from abuse? How easy is it?
I mean, again, there's investigations involving law enforcement, and there's investigations involving DCF, Adult Protective Services. Just for the sake of her being a woman does not qualify. The person has to qualify for our investigation. As
a Christian in the state, Trump land, is that right to say, oh, well, you need to go through all these things to get help? Jesus would be proud of this sort of system?
I'm not saying you have to go through all of these things to get help. I'm just telling you what is a part of our qualifications for our investigation.
There shouldn't be qualifications to get help in this state. There should be Christian love going, you are hurt and hurting, and we hear it, and we know we're going to reach out, we're going to help. But no, it's always, no, it's not this or not that. I understand. This system is completely corrupt. Do you agree with me on this, at least?
I can't continue.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like I said.
Like, legal reasons and all that stuff. I know, I get it. You got to cover your own ass, and you got to protect yourself while other people are being abused. All right, I'm grateful. I'll put in email me. I'll request the file from you, and I'll go from there.
Okay. I just sent it.
All right. Thank you for your time, and I'm sorry for wasting yours.
Have a